prophesy that she will be a mother to nations. She will not go borrowing, she will lend unto many nations.
From the stunning traditional outfits to the lively music and dance, Nigerian weddings are truly a spectacle to behold. So let's talk about how to plan a Nigerian wedding. You're seeing all these weddings on Bella Nigeria. Talk to yourself and be honest to yourself. Can you actually afford it? Can you actually afford it? Hi guys, welcome to Oyin Brandy's channel. If this is your first time stopping by, you are most definitely welcome. But if it's not, welcome back. I don't want us to waste too much time on the intro. We need to get into this video. This is going to be your most needed, most beneficial bridal guide planning a Nigerian wedding. Woohoo! I remember I had my Nigerian wedding last December, and I felt like there weren't enough resources that guided or aided me in planning my Nigerian wedding, which is why I'm making this video for you 2023 bride, for you 2024 bride, for you 2025 bride. I'm your bridal sister, if we want to put it that way. I've been there, I've done it, so let's get into what it's like planning your Nigerian wedding. We're talking about everything: vendors, cost, tips, tricks, everything. Let's get into it. It's so beautiful that I already planned on filming this video today, this very day that I'm filming it. And then I woke up this morning and received an email from one of you lovely subscribers. Love you so much. And she literally sent me an email wanting me to talk about everything I was already going to talk about in this video. Holy alignment, we thank God. So I'm going to just use some of the questions that she's asked to guide how this video goes, just so that, you know, I'm not rambling, because I like to talk, okay? That's just who I am. I had my wedding last year, which is 2022 December. I had a December wedding in Lagos, Nigeria, and it was lit. Till date, people are still calling me like calling it the TikTok wedding of the year, TikTok bride. If you don't know, get to know. Hashtag Oto in love. Just search TikTok. It's there. Everything is there. But yeah, I want to talk to you about how I was able to successfully plan my Nigerian wedding. Like, there were maybe one or two things that could have been better, which is okay, but it's how I was able to be joyful and enjoy my wedding. I did everything in my capacity to make sure that that day went well. The first question that I received was, how was the planning process like for you? How was planning my Nigerian wedding? First of all, I didn't just have any Nigerian wedding. I had one in December. So December, there's already so much chaos. There's already so much drama. There's already extra cost to everything. If you tell any vendor, oh, my wedding is in December, best believe there's going to be a surcharge. They're adding money to it. They're charging you more. So if you can get away with it, please maybe consider not doing your wedding in December if you want to save on cost. But if you want the vibes, I promise you there's vibes. If you want the vibes, if you want like the rave of a December in Lagos in December type thing, then do it in December. If you don't really care about the rave, the vibe, all that stuff, you want to save on cost, you're still gonna have lots of fun no matter when you do it. It's your day. Then pick another time in the year, January to November. What made the wedding planning process go well for me is, number one, always being on the same page with my partner. Luckily for me, my partner is also Nigerian, so we didn't have a lot of like cultural differences. He's also Nigerian, he's also Yoruba like I am. We didn't have a lot of cultural differences. We didn't have to worry about a lot of things. We just made sure that we were always on the same page. Like, it is both of you and your partner against the world. So don't ever say, oh, you're standing with your family, he's standing with his family. That's where chaos is going to start. Make sure that you both are always standing together every single time. Number two, make sure, in fact, this should actually be number one, make sure that God is involved throughout. Like, I'm Christian, and I will tell you that without God, this wedding planning process would have been so chaotic. In fact, the devil tried it. I want to talk about a lot of things about that right now, but the devil tried it. But because we were always going back on our knees, we were already anticipating issues that could come up months in advance, and we were praying about it. We started planning our wedding in January of 2022, even before we were engaged. We got engaged April 2022, but wedding planning process was already in motion in January. It was just better for us to give ourselves a head start, right? And give our family members also a head start, so let them know what's going on, what's happening. It was just easier for us to do it that way. So we started planning, like, we gave ourselves a year, 12 months to plan, and it was beautiful. Next, get an event planner, guys. Even if you don't have like an official event planner that you pay for and everything, have someone that's in charge of planning events, or of planning the event rather. Maybe this person could be like a family member, a colleague, or whatever, but I would prefer having someone that's independent of family and friends, because so you can tell them exactly what you want and they can put their foot down when they need to. But get an event planner. That's something that helped us. For our event planner, we used Etal Events. They did such an amazing job. Etal Events NG, I'll leave their Instagram or whatever on screen. They did such an amazing job, and I know that some people have had negative experiences working with event planners, but let me tell you something that helped us, right? It is that before you start working with any vendor whatsoever, most especially your event planner, because that's like the head of all the vendors, your event planner, right? Let them know the kind of brides that you are, or the kind of people your family members are, right? Let them know the kind of involvement level that you would have in the planning process, involvement level that your other family members as well will have in the planning process. Who say matters and who say doesn't. That is so important. My bride, my bridal sister, you don't want to ever make that mistake. You need to know and set boundaries from the get-go, because Nigerians, extended families, nuclear families, they are going to like get into your business. So set boundaries. Who say matters, who say doesn't. Let the event planner know from the get-go, from the jump. And I know that there are different packages you can do. Like, there's some fully hands-off brides. There's a package for that. There's like hands-on bride, which is like you're handling up to 40-50% of everything. You just kind of need the event planner to just plan a little and coordinate everything. There's that package as well. Choose the package that works for you. For me, I did fully hands-off, even though my mom and mom-in-law were still pretty hands-on. Shout out to them. They aided me having like such an amazing wedding. Love you, moms. I love you guys so much, honestly. And talk budget from the start. Talk budget from the jump. Let your event planner know like the things that you're willing to spend on and the things that you're not willing to spend on. You're seeing all these weddings on Bella Naija. You're seeing all these weddings on Yoruba traditional weddings. You're seeing all these weddings everywhere. But talk to yourself and be honest to yourself. Can you actually afford it? Can you actually afford it? Do you know how much these things cost? Don't worry, we're going to talk costs later down the video, so stay tuned to this video and keep watching. You might not be able to afford some of those things. There's so many things that I wanted to include in my wedding planning process that I had to cut out because I truly couldn't justify spending that money on that kind of stuff. I'll give you a practical example of something that I decided to save on, and this only worked for me because I had a good idea of what I wanted for myself, and that was a bridal stylist. I really wanted a bridal stylist because when you look at all these beautiful brides that get posted on like Bella Naija and all that good stuff, you will always see, you know, bridal stylist, wow, and they always look so nice and everything. So I thought, you know, maybe that's something that's necessary for me to have in my wedding. Girl, when my mom helped me with getting like, in fact, you know what? Special extra shout out to my mama, okay? She helped me with like messaging everybody. She was just sending me their code, sending me everything. It was just a fun time. I told her, mommy, oh yeah, message this bridal stylist, message that bridal stylist, message this, let me know their price, let me know their cost. When they started coming back, 700k, 650,000 naira, 800,000 naira, 1.5 million. At that point, I was like, you know what? Child, they're not even going to, this is not the cost of sewing the outfit, or this is just the cost of someone to tell you, okay, I think something like this will suit you, something like this will suit you. Honestly, if you can afford it, girl, go for it. If you can afford it, go for it, because it's the luxury that maybe I didn't know I needed. But I was, at that point, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Nope. So I skipped on having a bridal stylist. But if you can afford it, if you maybe you're not really a fashionable person and you can pay for the extra help, please, by all means, girl, go for it. I just skipped on it. Let them know the kind of vendors that you want to use, the kind of price ranges that make sense to you, and then let your event planner know if you would majorly like to use your own vendors or vendors that your family members already use. You know, we're Nigerian, right? Sometimes your parents have, you know, already been planning parties before. They have some, it's majorly food, trust me, I'm your bride, it's majorly food. They have some food vendors that they would prefer to use, so they wouldn't want to use like the vendors that the event planner recommends. Let the event planner know from the jump. It's always easier, save time talking back and forth, no issues. Okay, next, make sure family members on both sides are in correlation. Let them always be on the same page. You don't want one information to be passed in this part of the family, in bride side, groom side is just hearing about it weeks later or months later. You don't want to be causing friction before you're even married. There's no need to do that. Bring everyone on the same page. What we did was that we had a group chat with our event planner. My mom was there, my aunt was there, Olu's family was there. Always my husband, by the way, his family was there. He as well was in the group chat. Anything that was being said, everybody's knowing about it. It worked for us. It's easy, straight up. And I know that it's different per family. Like, you know, I know in some cultures it's the man's family that majorly plans the wedding. In some other cultures it's the woman's family that majorly plans the wedding. Do what works for you, but in the most cordial way possible. Next, pray without ceasing, guys. You need to pray every day. Like, the devil does not like marriages. He doesn't like unions. He knows the beauty that God has put behind marriages, the blessings and the favors that God has put in within the confines of marriage. He doesn't want marriages to happen. He wants them to break. So you need to pray for yourself, pray for your spouse, pray for your family, pray for your soon-to-be family, and God is gonna make the entire process super sweet for you. I promise you. Amen. So the next question that I got asked is, did you have to travel a couple times to Lagos before the wedding? Okay, this person is asking because she's also a diasporan bride, I'm guessing. I was a diasporan bride, meaning that I live in another country than the country that I had my wedding. So I live in Canada right now, and my wedding was in Nigeria. So did I have to travel back a lot of times? No, I traveled back once before the wedding. So the wedding was in December. I traveled back end of June towards July time. It worked out perfectly because it was our introduction ceremony as well, July 6, 2022. It was our introduction ceremony as well. So I was in Nigeria for about 10 days, I believe, and I used that entire period to get all my measurements done. I used that period to do our pre-wedding photo shoot. I'll see if I can put some pictures here of the pre-wedding photo shoots. We did our pre-wedding photo shoots. I met with the vendors that I needed to meet with before time. Anything that just needs me to be physically there, I did everything. And we really wanted to do our photo shoots in Nigeria because, guys, Nigerian photographers, ciao, you're not gonna get that anywhere else. Anyway, I digress. So I did all the things that needed me to be there. I only went back once. But another thing that I did that I think really helped is that I also went back to Nigeria a month before my wedding. So I was back in Nigeria November 27th, wedding was December 27th. So I had a month to do fittings, to do vendors meetings, to do meeting with the event planner, anything else that, you know, last minute stuff that we can just be doing while we're there. And we also had a lot of pre-wedding parties. I had another bridal shower in Nigeria. Shout out to my family, love you guys. We had like a pre-wedding beach party. We had lots of fun things just to anticipate the wedding period. So I went back a month before, and that was really, really helpful. But trust me, if you have a good designer, if you have a good event planner, honestly, you don't need to go back. Maybe just go back 2 to 3 weeks before the actual wedding day is what I recommend, because you can send your measurements virtually. They will do it to your size as long as your event planner, your fashion designer is good. They will do everything to your size, and all you have to do is just fittings. Yeah. Life is easy, girl. Life is easy now. Next question is, okay, she mentioned that they're also planning on having all their ceremonies in one day. By the way, I had a 3-in-1 wedding, meaning that my traditional wedding, my church wedding, and my white wedding were all in the same day. Crazy. That was crazy. So they're also thinking of having all their ceremonies in one day. What was the process like? Was it stressful and time constrained. Girl, I wouldn't even lie. Guys, I would not even lie. As far as a one-day wedding goes, like, I'm indifferent about it. Like, if I had a 2-day wedding, I would have been good. My 1-day wedding was also really good. But the biggest disadvantage of a 1-day or 3-in-1 wedding is the stress involved. Like, you're not going to be wasting time. You cannot be wasting time. From photography to videography to dressing up to everything, it's bam, 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 bam. There's no time to waste. Like, you need to get through all the events quickly. The events flow. You need to get through it quick. Like, I won't lie, as a bride, it's really stressful. The groom doesn't have to stress too much because he's not doing makeup or whatever, but as the bride, it can be really stressful. But it also goes back to mentally preparing for the day. Mentally prepare for the day. It's so funny, I've never actually shared this before, but when it was getting close to my wedding, like 4 or 5 days from my wedding, my entire family fell very, very ill. We were all so sick. See, the devil tried it. We were all so sick, like proper sickness. So even the night before my wedding, like, I was shivering. I was just like, God, like, this is not what we spoke about. This was not what we talked about. But guess what? I woke up the next morning and I was strengthened. So just, it's prayer. It's motivating yourself throughout the process. Like, girl, you have to be joyful. You have to be happy, regardless of what comes your way, regardless of lateness. Girl, you will be late. But if it's just a couple minutes, you'll be late. But planning is very important. Planning is very, very important. What really helped us a lot was having our event planner created an event flow. This is the reason why you need to have an event planner, guys. There's some things you might not even think about, but an event flow, like the flow of the entire day. So let's walk through that real quick. Might not be able to go through everything, but I'll put it on the screen right now for you guys, if you wanted to screenshot or whatever. Bride wakes up at 3:30 a.m. 3:30 a.m. to 4 a.m. Bride takes a bath. 4 a.m. bride's makeup artist arrives at the hotel. 4:15 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. bride's makeup starts. 6 a.m. photographer and videographer arrive at the hotel. Guys, this is a.m. as per morning time. Hey, that day it wasn't easy. 6 a.m. groom takes his bath. 6:30 a.m. gele time. Can you imagine? Bride has been awake since 3:30 a.m. Groom is just waking up at 6 a.m. 6:30 a.m. gele time. 6:35 bride dresses up, and then we just went like that. Every single hour, every single minute was accounted for. Everything, we accounted for everything. And let me just give you like a timeline of the entire day. Traditional wedding started at 8 a.m. Church wedding started at 12, and wedding reception was meant to start at 2, but ended up starting at 3. Guys, from the morning when you wake up till church ends, it is it's like you're running against time from morning up to when church ends. But after church ends, anything goes, because to be honest, at that point I was done. After church ended, we had to go back to the hotel because I was like, girl, I'm getting my pictures. I'm not paying my photographer that amount of money for me not to get the pictures that I wanted. So we went back to the hotel with our bridal party. We got our pictures. Like I said, you just have to pace yourself and make sure that everyone is keeping to time. And this is why I always say, like, if you watch my TikTok videos, this is what I'm telling you. Like, if you don't need to have bridesmaids, girl, don't do it. If you don't need to have groomsmen, don't do it. I was fortunate because my bridesmaids, our groomsmen, they were amazing, impeccable. They were the one, like, I remember my bridesmaids were knocking, Brandy, hope you're awake. They came to my door. They made sure that I was good all the time, always constantly checking up on me, making sure that the makeup artist was doing their makeup nice and hurrying up and not wasting time. They were keeping to time with me. Groomsmen were ready. Like, everybody did well. But I've heard horror stories where it's even your bridesmaids that will make you cry on your wedding day. It's your bridesmaids that will make you feel bad. So if you can skip that, skip it. But if you know you have true friends that would genuinely care for you, they genuinely know how to wait on people, they would be there when you need them to, do it. That's my simple one cent advice. So yeah, another thing that helped us with our one-day wedding is that, number one, we did not compromise on our vendors. We did not compromise on vendors that we wanted. Make sure that the vendors that you're using are conversant with having a 3-in-1 wedding. We made sure, from my makeup artist to my hairstylist, every single person, we made sure that they had been a part of a 3-in-1 wedding before, or they had been a vendor at a 3-in-1 wedding before. Everybody. even up to my mom's makeup artist, every single person, because they also have to understand the rush. They have to understand, like, okay, stand here, bride, pose and take a picture here. Stand here, bride, take a picture. It's not the photographer that will now come, and it's when he's there, will now be looking, scouting, where can I take? They have to be smart. They have to work smart, work fast, so that everything will go well. Number 2, mindset and motivating yourself. I have already spoken about that. Rest well before the day. You don't want to be the frowning bride. Like, I've heard of brides that in all their pictures they were frowning, they were sad, because you know, things happen on your wedding day that you don't like. Do you know, if I should tell you guys some things that happened, like, but above all, I raised my head above everything, and I told myself that, Brandy, no matter what happens, I would not let anything impact my joy. I would not let anything impact my happiness. I wasn't looking at all the nitty-gritty details. Oh, did they put this there? I was just happy, having fun, spending time with my husband. We were having fun. We were even doing TikToks in the car. That's the vibe. That's how it's supposed to be. Some practical things that we also did was that, number 1, I had my frontal. So I had like a frontal style for my wedding. I had the frontal installed the day before, because you're not going to be deceiving yourself and be thinking it's at 4 a.m. that they'll be doing your makeup at the same time they'll be styling your hair. Things that you can get done the day before. Girl, just do it. I had my frontal installed the day before, so that all that we needed to do on the day of was styling. So immediately after the traditional wedding, we went back to the hotel to dress up for the church wedding. My hairstylist was already there. She came, she styled my hair. She is fast. Don't worry, I'm going to list all my vendors at the end of the video. She worked fast, worked smart. She did an amazing job. Customer service, sweet. Guys, this video is not sponsored though. This is me just pouring my heart out and telling you, because I know wedding planning can be very stressful. Wedding planning is not easy. It's not something that you can just be like, it's not easy at all. Number 2, don't be acting like you have all day. Don't be acting like you have all day. You know, when it is now on that day when you need to be rushing and working fast, you're not dragging your feet. Girl, don't deceive yourself. Are you trying to have a successful 3-in-1 wedding, or are you not? If you are, please don't be dragging your feet. Make sure that you're also working, like moving fast. You don't have all day, honestly. Number 3, make sure that your guests are well fed. Let me tell you something. If you feed people, they're gonna wait on you no matter what. But if you keep them hungry, it's gonna be bad. By the time you're dancing into the hall, all your guests have gone. So what we did was, we had our traditional wedding, like I said, at 8 a.m. in the morning. There was breakfast there, breakfast spread. Enjoy yourself, have fun. Then church wedding, obviously we can't bring food to church, but then by the time guests were getting back to the reception, appetizers were ready, main meal was flowing, like guests were fed throughout. Appetizer, main meal, dessert. At our wedding ended around 11 p.m. Obviously, like I said, we're Christian, and they're just some things we didn't need to be doing. We didn't have to party way into the night. Anyway, around 11 p.m. people were there. Like, even when we turned off the lights, we were like, we're not ready to go, because there was at the after party, there was after party meals. Shawarma was there, pasta made on spot. Like, nah, guys, I didn't even get to eat that much. I want to go back and actually just eat and enjoy myself. Weddings are really for people, though. Like, as much as you want to try and enjoy yourself, you don't have appetite. But it's okay. Next, keep all your ceremony short. Like, this is not the time for the alaga, who is like the traditional wedding host for a Yoruba wedding. They're called alagas. This is not the time for them to be like doing all the ceremonial rites. Do the most important ones. The most important ones. Let the parents meet. They should do the letter reading, transfer of diary, everything, normal stuff like that. Cute, keep it cute, keep it simple, keep it moving, because you need to be getting ready for church, and churches don't play. Again, keep the church ceremony short. We had our wedding at my parents' church, Elevation Church, Nigeria. Honestly, if I meet like the person that hosted our wedding, yeah, not hosted, but I can't remember the word I'm trying to use, but the pastor that joined us, if I meet him again, I will give him a big handshake. I will even kneel down. Like, he did such an amazing job. Like, the entire thing lasted an hour, more like even 45 minutes. From walking down the aisle, the sermon, powerful and short, 10 minutes straight, in and out. We did our vows, we did everything. It was so nice. Keep the ceremony short, keep it engaging, have fun. on to the next. Make sure that you're also setting boundaries. Don't let people be pulling you after church. Come and snap, come and snap. We had a list of order of photography. That's the only order we were following. Nobody's coming left, right, and center saying, we want to stop, we want to stop. There is no time. We have to head back to the hotel to get pictures, professional pictures. Next thing, limit outfit changes. I know that we want to wear 5 outfits, we want to wear 6 outfits. I wore my traditional in the morning, white wedding dress, reception dress, and an after party fit. After party fit I could have done away with, but I still wore it. I had the time. Like I said, after church you have the time to do whatever you want. I had the time and I did it. Like I had just 3 outfit changes, but just limit outfit changes as far as you can, because it contributes to tiredness, it contributes to fatigue, because with outfit changes comes makeup touch up, with makeup touch up comes hairstyling change. Like, well, it could be tiring. It could be tiring. Okay, the next question that she asked me is, was the savings in cost worth the stress, if there was any? It was totally worth it. It was totally worth it. I wouldn't even lie. The kind of wedding that I had back home in Nigeria, I probably wouldn't be able to get it here. And mind you, we had about 1,200 people at our wedding, which is, I know, it's crazy. We had about, our parents know people, that's okay. We had about 1,200 people at our wedding, and for the amounts that we ended up spending, in fact, the amount that we ended up spending for 1,200 people is probably what we will spend for, like, not maybe like 200 people here, and the quality still won't be the same. That's the sad part. The quality still will be the same, because the vendors here, if you want them to achieve what you had in Nigeria, or what you plan to have in Nigeria, you're gonna be paying like through your nose, arm and a leg, top dollar. Like in fact, and it's not even, for example, a place like Canada, we don't have that many vendors in a way that you will see people that are doing extraordinary things. Would I do my wedding in Nigeria again? 100%. 100%. Everything went well. Like, decor was on point, food was on point, like everything was perfect. So the amount of money that we saved, it's definitely worth it. It is definitely worth it. But I know that with a wedding, it's more than just you and your partner. There's also like your friends and everything. If it feels like it might be too much for your friends to go back with you and everything, and maybe you can afford to do a wedding here, just do it here. But if your friends are willing to go back with you, everyone is willing to go back, you know, most of your family members are already back home, it might just be easier to do it back home. So now for the part that you guys have been waiting for, vendors list. Vendors list and prices. So I'll go through my vendors list, but I'm only going to be talking about vendors that really matter to me. So I'm not going to be talking about like banqueting vendors, I'm not like food and drink vendors, I'm not going to be talking about any of those stuff, just like hairstylists, makeup artists, stuff like that. So let's get into the vendors list. So for my hairstylist, I used Marigold. She did an amazing job. She's really good. Check her out on Instagram. For my photographer, we used Tosin Josh Weddings. He killed it. He delivered, over delivered. For our videographer, we used SmokhyImagery. Smokhy also did an amazing job. MUA was Tomi Aina. She killed it. She killed it. It was so good. Traditional wedding, Ashoke, like the Ashoke is the traditional Yoruba outfit. It was by BizBud. They did an amazing job as well. The sewing of my Ashoke was by Lara Evelyn Designs. Girl, take your flowers, okay? She did an amazing job too. White wedding dress was by Perfect Occasion Bridal. Nice, simple, straight to the point. Reception dress was by VeekeeJames. VeekeeJames killed it, okay? She did such a good job. And then my after party play suit was by Olushola Phillips. She also executed my vision perfectly well, so that was good. My husband's suit was made by Atafo Official, and then his second outfit was by Deji and Kola. They killed it. Like, his outfits were also really nice. So now I want to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you guys costs of some things that we spent on, but anything I'm saying now, just be adding 25 to 40% on top of it, because prices have gone up. We secured, what helped us is that we secured a lot of things, like I mentioned, January, February, March, early of the year. So we were able to lock in prices. But I know because I'm also still, you know, within that wedding planning industry, I know people that are trying to get married soon, and the prices have almost doubled, if not doubled. So just be adding like 25 to 30, 40, 50% on top of the prices I'm naming now. Okay, and mind you, this is just my wedding and how it went. I know that some people are able to spend way more, some people may not be able to afford as much. Whatever fits you, just do. This is just what we did. So let's start with the bride's wardrobe total. So my wardrobe, so that's like my white wedding dress, my traditional wedding dress, all my dresses, everything, but excluding accessories. So no shoes, no bags, nothing, no earrings, excluding accessories, was roughly about 1.7 million naira. That's how much we spent. And groom's wardrobe total, see, men don't have issues, guys. Men don't have issues. Also excluding accessories, with ashoke, white wedding suit, traditional wedding suit, was about 1 million. Bride's beauty, so we're talking makeup, we're talking hair, but this is excluding the actual hair itself, just the installation. For my hair and my makeup was about 350,000. Photography and videography was about 1,450,000. Banqueting for bride's side only, so this is just for my parents' guests and for our bride and groom's friends, so that's about 400 people. For about 400 people, banqueting, we're talking about like food, drinks, desserts, food, everything food, was roughly about 8.5 million. Media, so DJ, MC, alaga, things like that, roughly about 1,050,000. Decoration, excluding rentals, so no chairs, no tables, just decor itself, was about 6 million. Stationery, so invites, table tags, access cards, was about 900,000. Hall rental, roughly about 4.5-ish million. Hotel accommodation for bride and groom was roughly about 600,000. Yeah, that's just, so these are just the vendors that concerned us. We had way more vendors, like way more vendors. So weddings are not cheap, but weddings can be affordable, weddings can be pocket friendly, but you have to be content with what you're able to get with your money, if that makes sense. So I hope I've been able to answer all the questions that have been burning on everybody's mind about planning a Nigerian wedding. If you have more questions, if you want me to answer more questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, and hopefully I will try and gather myself together to film another video, because I just feel like it's not easy preparing for these wedding videos, I'm not even gonna lie. So as much as I can, I will try to, yeah.